Guys, I'm in a very good mood. I'm in a very, very good mood. I just got back from the movie theaters after watching My Hero Academia World's Hero Mission. I'm gonna say right now, I'm going to see it again. I'm going to see it again. And in all honesty, I think this one trumps the other two movies. And I genuinely stand by that. I genuinely do. Now, as you saw in the thumbnail, actually not the thumbnail, the title, there will be spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie, do not watch past this point. I repeat, if you have not seen the latest Hero Academia movie, World's Heroes Mission, do not watch this video, click off, go watch it, then come back, okay? Unless you don't care about spoilers and you're a maniac, watch it. Because even if I do spoil it, watching it's gonna be a lot better, okay? Let's be honest here. First off, I'm gonna say right now, Studio Bones deserves a freaking round of applause because this movie showed how far they're willing to go to make an awesome fight scene. The animation, it was definitely Studio Bones's, if that's how you pronounce it, most dynamic and best animated movie or animated sequence they have done. And they've had a lot of good moments, okay? I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna try to be as concise as possible. I'm gonna try to be as organized as possible. But I make no promises. This is no script. I literally got back home like 30 minutes ago, okay? I'm on a high. I'm loving it. I loved it so much. I was screaming in the movie theaters, screaming out Deku, Todoroki, and Bakugo. It was lit. Okay, before we get into the plot and all my favorite parts, allow me to say this. MVP, the GOAT, is Rhodey. Rhodey, whatever his name was. I forgot. His name is Rhodey. He was GOATed. Okay? I'm gonna say right now, they did everybody justice. What makes this movie a little bit better than the other two movies is the scale of it all. It's whenever you think save the world, they always single it into one city in one area. And it's like, look at Avengers. All their battles were like, the first one, they literally had it in New York City, where if they didn't stop it, the world would take over. No, World's Hero Mission, that was all over the world. Class 1A was broken up, and this takes place during season 5, where Deku, Todoroki, and Bakugo were interning work study with Endeavor along with the other classmates of 1A. So they are all around the world helping with their respective tutors, mentors, and everything, along with other heroes that we've never seen before. So it's a scale like none other. So you really get to see some new original heroes along with the scale, like a true scale of the world being in danger, because Humorize, the main protagonist and organization, they want to basically wipe out everyone who has a quirk, because they are believing in the quirk doomsday theory, which, if you do not know, means that as time goes on, people's quirks will meld and become stronger and more dangerous, meaning at some point there is a possibility that they will become too crazy for us to handle and thus lead to destruction of humanity. So they take it upon themselves. Flack Turn, the leader, basically says, you know what, we're just gonna basically kill everybody as a quirk, and only those who are not, basically people who are not quirk, words are hard, I'm sorry, basically quirkless people will basically be the new humanity, and it will be ruled as such. It makes sense, and I'm gonna get into why that's the case. And he has bombs all over the world, which explains why there are the different groups across the different countries. Everyone's broken up. It's fun. Now, we get to Endeavor's team. And basically, as we saw from the certain trailers, Deku was framed for mass murder. That was obviously false. Everyone knows that Deku is the most lovable marshmallow broccoli on the planet. If he kills anybody, if anything, is a villain. Let's just be honest here, all right? And it was more like ploy. He had a run-in with Rhodey because there was a thief of jewelry and he was doing a job. And basically, how do I say this? It got a mix-up to where he got information in a briefcase with information regarding the trigger bombs, the bombs that are supposed to wipe out people who have quirks. All right, so that's a whole thing. The entire police force and everyone else in the world is basically out to kill both Deku and Rhodey, as they have the information that can basically prevent their plan from happening. So obviously they're gonna kill him. Rhodey, not knowing what anything is scared, confused, and annoyed because he didn't think that his little job, which illegal, let's be honest here, this was like an illegal job. He doesn't know what's going on. He just wants to do what he can to support his brother and sister any way he can. And he basically betrayed Deku at a point. I'm gonna be honest, he betrayed Deku. When they were sleeping on the road, he stole the briefcase, tried to hand it off to the villains, almost died. Deku had to take an arrow, quite literally, to get them out of there. And I'm gonna say right now, by the way, Deku uses Black Whip quite a bit. And when I say this man radiated freaking Spider-Man energy, like from the Spider-Man games for PlayStation, I kid you not, he was basically Japanese broccoli Spider-Man, and it was glorious. The animation was just superb. They get away, they gotta stay off the grid. Bakugo and Todoroki are trying to get to him so they're not, killed. Well, they're the main protagonists, all right? They're not gonna die, trust me, I know. They finally catch up, they find out what's going on. At some point, me and the other people in the theaters thought, hey, what is the whole point of this? Then we get the flashback with Rhodey about how his father up and left, which is why him and his siblings, his younger brother and younger sister, are basically in the slums, all right? They're in the slums and he has to do all that work, illegal, bad, good, or whatever, to support them. And basically, because they found out that his father worked for Humor Eyes, they were kicked out of their school, kicked out of their family, their house, their neighborhood, and everyone cut off ties with them, and that's why they're currently in the slums of the city that they're at, which is kind of messed up. And at some point, there's a puzzle they show his father basically giving him to try to solve. And when he solves it, and it's a little, what's it called? Locket, a pendant. He opens it up and everything, blah, 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 blah. Whenever Todoroki and Bakugo save Deku and Rhodey, they open it up and it's literally the same puzzle that he was showed how to solve by his father all those years ago before he went missing. At that point, we thought that his father was Flack Turn, just under the guise of just doing all this. I thought maybe that his wife was killed by somebody with a quirk, and he hated that idea, lost all hope, and basically is trying to take it out on the rest of the world. That's what I thought. Luckily, it was a bait and switch. Rhodey's father was actually forced to help make the bombs. He was an engineer. He was forced to do it. If not, they would have killed his family. And even after they helped him do it, he basically risked his life to get information and give it to somebody else to hopefully give to the heroes to help stop all this. So Rhodey lost his father because they were threatened. And in all honesty, I kind of understand, like, dang, it's either my life or my family. I'm gonna risk it. I will give my life to make sure that no one else has to deal with this. And that's some heavy stuff. It really was. So now they figured it out, the bombs, and after they figure out everything, they find out what's going on, the bombs and everything, the whole plan, there's a master key to turn it all off. That's when Flack says, you know what? All right, it's time for a live stream. Heroes, in 2 hours, the bombs are going off. However, to be merciful, I will give you a chance. If you can find them and turn them off, you win. If you can't, well, 80% of humanity is dead. And, however, lo and behold, Rhodey, Todoroki, Bakugo, and Deku are the only 4 that have found out where the actual main base of Humor Eyes is. And this is where Bones actually snaps with animation. And when I tell you snapped, like, it was unreal how dynamic. Dynamic's the only word that you can describe for the animation sequence between Bakugo and the 2 guys with sword chain hands. Todoroki with a big giant buff Hulk looking dude who can manipulate fire into like little tendril things. And then there's Deku against Flack Turn. Flack Turn is just some random guy, and apparently his origin story is that when he grew up, he manifested a quirk, and the quirk is he reflects everything that comes in contact with him back. And people just didn't want to deal with him. They basically separated himself. He hated the fact that as a quirk, he suffered as someone who had a quirk that he couldn't control. So at that point, he's like, you know what? No one else should suffer like I should. So I'm just going to get rid of everyone who has a quirk so no one in the world has to suffer like that. Understand the mentality, very selfish, but we had to have a motivation somehow. Let's be honest here. And let's just say Deku was struggling. This man going back and forth. And my gosh, I'll be honest, I read the manga. I'm already caught up. I already know what's going to happen. But that did not stop the movie between everyone around the world trying to get the citizens evacuated, Bakugo dealing with his fight, Todoroki dealing with his fight, and Deku dealing with a Flack Turn did not make any of that less epic and less tense. I'm at the edge of my actual seat, breathing heavy, heart racing, clenched fists, like I'm clenching my pearls like I'm about to die. That's how stressful it was. I know it ends in well, but it doesn't make it any less tense, and I'm glad that Bones was able to deliver that along with the voice acting and everything else. Because Deku, I'm gonna be honest, Deku, all three of them, they were getting their butts handed to them. I'm gonna be completely honest, they were getting bodied. And then they did, as anime protagonist fashion, they went beyond, they went plus ultra and were able to defeat their respective villains. Now this is where I say that Rhodey is GOAT. Rhodey came in out of nowhere and basically was about to hand over the key because the goons of Flack Turn said, if you hand over the key, we will stop the bomb going off in the area where your brother and sister are currently at. On paper, Rhodey says he's done nothing. He has nothing in his life besides trying to make sure that his brother and sister are taken care of. He doesn't care. It's either his family or society, and he'll choose his family. And I understand that. He's about to do it, and then the little bird, Pina, also goated, basically baited a Flack Turn, and well, let's just say the mission was set then. After Rhodey told Deku what his quirk was, and they only revealed it afterward for dramatic effect, Pina basically shows Rhodey's true intentions no matter what. Meaning that when he was about to give Flack Turn the master key to turn off the bombs, Pina was signaling Deku like, hey, when I do this, get him. And Deku understood. And that was enough to, and Deku's mission at that point was to hold off Flack until Rhodey could get to the center hub to turn off the bombs. And when I say Deku was throwing hands like his life depended on it, I mean, technically it did, against someone who could basically hit back with the same force that he was. So he's basically fighting himself in a sense in terms of raw power. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever seen Deku fight so desperately. Like even Nine, like I'm gonna be honest here, Nine and Wolfman from the first two movies, the way they animated this one, oh my gosh, you would have thought that this was the final battle. And when I tell you, and it gets better because as usual, Deku at 20% wasn't enough. Once he had his cliche protagonist like flashback of All Might saying you must win, you have to fight with a smile, he went beyond plus ultra, activated one for all at 100%, and that's when the animation just said, you know what, you know the meme where they said like, all right, how much budget do we have for Deku going 100% in the final stretch with Flack Turn? And then the next answer is yes. They probably dumped all the budget into that. And then I'm gonna be honest, I think Deku made a new movie exclusive move. Something called United States of the World Smash. I might have gotten that wrong. I was too involved in it. The experience was unlike any other. And the animation, and it was just visually so stunning. No, nothing else could top it. I genuinely say, from comedy, from story building, from just tenseness to character development and everything, This definitely blows the other two movies out of the water. 10 out of 10, would see again. Rhodey and Pina goated, the MVPs of this movie, because after Deku finally beat Flack Turn with that new move, Pina basically put in the thing. I'm gonna be honest, I was scared because Deku, Todoroki, Bakugo, Pina, and Rhodey were all just getting impaled, sliced, shot at. They were getting mutilated. I'm gonna be honest. They did not hold back when they said, "Oh, you're gonna save the world, but we're not gonna make it pretty. We're not gonna make it easy." And Lord knows they did not. They did not hold anything back. They said, "This is what it's like to be a hero." And my gosh, the way it ended was too pure. They even had little end credit scenes where like Rhodey is like actually has a respectable job at the place where he was told to do his little side gigs and whatever, and even studying on how to be a pilot because he wants to be a pilot, which I found was so pretty and so wholesome that he's finally gonna look to achieve the dream that he wants to. Thanks to Deku inspiring him that even if you don't believe that you can do it, never give up. It was beautiful. My Hero Academia World Hero Mission, best movie. Now, before I will say this, if your movie theater has the option for 4DX, do that. Do that. I'm gonna say this right now. I'll explain what 4DX is. Basically, you get these weird futuristic seats and you got other stuff in the theaters besides the speakers and stuff. The seats move, vibrate, rotate, go left and right, tilt up and down in accordance to what's happening on the screen. You got little holes in the back of your chair that shoot out like gusts of wind to simulate something getting shot at from behind you or in front of you. Something down there to simulate like gas, like from below or whatever. They got fans on the side blowing actual wind whenever we're like in an airplane or we're zooming around. And you even feel the vibrations of when they're riding a bus, an airplane, when Deku is running, when they are shooting something, exploding. Everything they're doing for the most part that's action oriented, there was always something going on. Words cannot express that experience. If you had the ability to see Hero Academia, the latest movie, in 4DX, do it. You will not regret it. I kid you not. Oh my freaking gosh. I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say. Best movie. Best Hero Academia movie. I stand by that. I stand by that. I'm probably gonna clickbait through the thumbnail. Best movie. Best Hero Academia movie. It was that good. I'm telling you, man, it was awesome. All right, I think I've calmed down. That's a lie. That was actual cap. I have not calmed down. If you enjoyed this little rant review, my experience on it in a 4DX theater watching the latest movie, please do leave a like, comment down below what you thought about it. If you would like to see some other stuff like this in the future, leave a like. It greatly helps. Lets me know that you enjoy it. Like I said, I actually don't know what else to say. I really don't. I'm just so hyped. I have so much adrenaline going through me. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. All I can say is just go see the movie. Go see the movie. Just go see the movie. Even if you don't see it in 4DX, go see the movie. You will not be disappointed. Bones went off. This was a good movie. This really was. It is I, your boy, NPC Jackson, and I will see you guys in the next video as I shall return to the realm of whatever I did.